I'm in the Sierra Nevada mountains in southern Spain, where I've been invited by Humango and Rouvy to spend a day with one of their athletes. A 27-year-old German triathlete named Frederic Funk. He's considered one of the sport's rising stars, and he's currently training in altitude in the hope of taking things to the next level. Born in 1997 to triathlete parents, Frederic grew up with the sport close by, part of his life, perhaps even it's in his blood. And one particular triathlon race stood above all others, Challenge Roth. It was his parents' dream race. It was his first race in the Junior Challenge. And now he's making it his goal. And his dream is to win. From early promise to serious results in the middle distance, Frederic is quietly becoming one of the sport's most exciting prospects. But I've come to find out more, to get to know him a little, and to see how he trains. Because when your dream is so rooted in home and legacy, what does it take to truly go all in? And what sacrifices does it require along the way?
Hey.
Morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thanks for having us here in Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
I hope you've chosen an easy day for me to join you.
Oh yeah, it's not that easy. Hard swim, hard run, easy bike. But all indoor today.
Well, I'll join you for some of it. I'm not going to promise I'll join you for all of it.
Frederic is deep into a training block at Sierra Nevada's High Altitude Training Center, 2,320 meters above sea level. With just 2 months to go until Roth, it's his final big push before his first full distance race. I've agreed to join him for a few sessions, which, depending on how things go, I may come to regret.
So 800 mix warm up and a 200 pull boy with 25 skull, 25 swim.
Okay.
And then, not really sure yet.
That might be the end of me anyway.
There's something almost meditative about it, just watching Frederic go back and forth. It made me think about how early all of this must have started. Long before the structured training and the science. There was probably just a boy in goggles, trying to keep up with his parents.
Yeah, it was okay. Always struggle a bit up here, but...
That's all relative, I think.
I wanted to know what those first memories of the sport were like, and whether he even had any choice in any of it.
What is your earliest triathlon memory, if you cast your mind all the way back?
My earliest triathlon memory wasn't actually racing. I think it was just like watching my parents race.
Your parents were triathletes.
Yeah, they both had they were never like professionals, but they had like a professional license.
And race Challenge Roth?
Race Challenge Roth. My mom got second, I think, in 2003. So weren't too bad either, but yeah, like me and my siblings were always there supporting them.
Did perhaps your parents push you into triathlon?
They didn't push me necessarily, but well, it's definitely how I got into triathlon. Like they introduced me to it, and yeah, they weren't never really like forcing or pushing me and my siblings to do the sport. So yeah, we got introduced to the sport, and yeah, it definitely got stuck with me.
After being introduced to the sport, Frederic went on to become the German junior champion in 2016. At that point, he had a promising path towards the Olympic dream. But instead, he chose to pursue longer distances. I was curious to know if this decision to abandon the Olympics has ever haunted him.
Yeah, it was definitely like an earlier dream of mine to like pursue the Olympic dream. Like stay on short distance after my junior years. But I kind of like maybe wasn't patient enough for it. It's not easy like to switch from junior to elite. I think that's always like where everyone struggles the most, and you really need some years to find yourself there.
What went wrong?
Nothing really went wrong. I think it's just like, missing a few percent in each discipline, because you're just like coming out of the junior years and then racing suddenly like the best in the world on short distance. I think what went wrong, you could say, like I did some non-drafting races.
You saw the dark side.
Yeah, and I was like immediately like at the front of those races, because cycling was always my strength. The dream of Ironman, Kona, and all that, I think, was always a bit bigger than the Olympic dream. So I was always like thinking, okay, Olympic Games, but after that I definitely go long. I think now on the longer distance, I think I got more patient and know that what we are doing is working, and it gets me better year by year, and eventually maybe to the complete top.
Frederic's gamble seems to be paying off. He's building a solid career over the longer distance, and with strong results and growing recognition. But like all gambles, you only know if it's worked or once it's all over. Still, if you're going to bet on someone, it might as well be the guy starting his second session of the day here at altitude.
Hey, Fred.
Hey, James.
Hey, Jane, what you been doing for the last hour?
I was just like making a coffee in my room, snacking a bit, and basically
Feet
just
up.
getting ready for the run.
And now what is the run? What's the session?
So I just finished my warm-up, which was like just 50-minute easy, some strides. And now I'm gonna go on a treadmill. It's 5 by 8 minutes, hill reps. I check lactate after each. It should be like around that 3 millimole. So
Self-checking your lactate.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
The things the pro has to do these days.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to join you for this one, so I'll just watch you do it. And I'll leave you to it.
All right. Enjoy.
You too.
Wake up and lace up my sneakers, I'm always dressed to kill. Each time I speak, I'm at peak to bring me some extra ears. Feel it in my soul, in my sleep, I breathe till the winds get sealed. On go while the rest sit still, beast mode on a run all year. Work till the funds all here, can't stop till the path all clear. Slim run a sweatshop and a pet shop, cause the dogs all here. Cody, this gon' make a statement on him and ain't no debating. I see no signs of defeat while I'm on this road to greatness.
Again, for the second time today, it strikes me how utterly lonely and dedicated the life of a pro is. If I wasn't here today, Fred would be completely on his own in this massive basement, doing lactate tests on himself, grinding away for a race that's 2 months away.
Perfect. Went back up to 2.7.
Solid session.
That was good. All in control. That's important in altitude. Yeah, better a bit too low than too high. Still got a lot of training this week, and then next week is already race week. So.
While focusing on the longer distances, Frederic's also been selected for the T100 Triathlon series, a shorter, fast-paced format that brings together many of the sport's biggest names. It made me wonder, can you really compete at both ends of the spectrum without something giving? And does it risk spreading yourself a bit too thin?
You've had a lot of success in the middle distance, T100 contract last year and again this year. So I guess the question is, why now? Why in 2025 do you have to go and do Challenge Roth when you're doing so well in the middle distance?
I just couldn't wait any longer now. No, I like watching Challenge Roth every year. The last years I was there at the expo already, like with my sponsors, and even though I wasn't racing, there were like hundreds of people coming, taking pictures with me, getting autographs, and it's like it's of course really motivating as well. And then watching the race, it's like kind of always like I really want to do it. I really want to see how I do on a long distance. And you're right. I could still wait because I think it's difficult these days to do to really be world class on 70.3 and long distance. Probably you have to pick. A few athletes can do both, but I'm not sure if I will be one of them. But so I kind of want to see now how it goes, and I just really motivated, just finally doing a long distance.
So basically what you're saying is the fear of missing out is so strong that you have to go to Challenge Roth this year.
That, and of course the pressure is there, of course, from fans who are asking me since years when I do my first long distance. Of course, I always said that it doesn't bother me, but like when it's like thousands people, a guy asking you when you're doing your first long distance, and it's like, when I'm actually doing my first long distance. And of course, sponsors. It's not like they're pressuring me to do it, but it's like when you're kind of looking long term, you kind of want to show yourself also on a long distance.
There's something exciting about watching an athlete trying to master two distances at once. For now, Frederic seems to be approaching it with the right mix of ambition and discipline. And I can't help but hope it pays off. Later, I joined him for his final session of the day, a bike workout. I wanted to know how his training is actually structured and what tools he uses to stay on top of it all. We loaded up Rouvy, riding the Challenge Roth course as motivation, and I asked him how his training all fits together, especially in relation to one of his sponsors, Humango.
So, we spoke about your coaching and your training. You're coached by Dan Lorang, but you're also partnered with Humango, an AI coach. Does that mean you've got two coaches?
Yeah, no, it's actually quite an interesting topic. Dan even says himself, like, as a coach, he's really open to AI because it will never completely replace the human coaching, but it can obviously help and influence the coaches a lot and like help with coaching the athletes, so the coaches themselves can focus on the things where you actually need
the art of coaching,
the human interaction.
Yeah. But you're not coached by AI.
No, I'm not coached, but I'm uploading all my data, all my sessions to the Humango app.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like feeding the AI.
You're building a library that it uses to coach everyone else that's doing Challenge Roth.
In a way, it's definitely influencing the AI, and so the AI can use the data to write even better or prescribe even better sessions, training for people who actually use it as coaching.
So you're coaching the AI. Interesting.
Humango isn't the only bit of tech Fred's using up here in the mountains. Whilst we've been talking, we've also been quietly working our way through the Challenge Roth course on Rouvy, a virtual training platform that lets you ride real roads while taking off your session. For someone zeroed in on one race this season, it's a useful way to see the course before he ever even gets there.
We're heading up the Solitude on Rouvy now. And, I'll tell you what, it doesn't look a lot like this on race day.
Yeah, I know.
It actually looks like a hill when you ride it like this. It doesn't look like a hill on race day. How much are you using Rouvy? Have you been riding the Roth course?
Yeah, definitely a lot. I mean, every time I ride indoors, I'm on Rouvy.
Yeah.
And
on the Roth course?
As it's my most important race of the season, I try to check the Roth course, even though I know it but still check it as much as possible.
Yeah, the better you know it, the better. So you've spoken a lot about Challenge Roth. Built it up, I guess, how important it is and everything. Do you think maybe you're putting too much emphasis, too much enthusiasm into one race in Roth?
I don't think I can get too enthusiastic about it, but no, it's like, it helps me a lot to have like one race which I really focus on, like kind of helps me in training, keeps me motivated, and yeah, it's also like a great motivation just because it's the like first long distance and I don't know how it will go, don't know what to expect.
So Challenge Roth is your first full distance, and I think this is a simple question, or simple to ask, maybe really difficult for you to answer. What does success at Challenge Roth in 2025 look like? How do you define success in this, your first full distance?
I think I will only know when I finish it. Yeah, I will still be happy with my race because in the end of the day, I can only control my performance, of course. I try to be on the start line as fit as I possibly can in any way. Just finishing, even if it's a bad day, will be like a great feeling and also exciting to experience that kind of feeling.
I feel like you reached into your back pocket and pulled out every cliche you could find in that answer.
My time with Fred was nearly up. Watching him finish his final session, just weeks away from his biggest race yet, I was struck by the sheer focus it all requires. Now that I'm on the other side of the sport looking in, I can see more clearly just how much this life demands, and I can't help feel a deep respect for it, and for him. Before I left, I had one last chance to ask Fred where he sees it all going, and what his future in the sport might hold.
What do you see the next 5 years looking like in the perfect world?
I think if it's like I win Roth and I'm not performing well or like not as I want on the T100, yeah, most likely I think I'll try to switch slowly, step by step, to the longer distance. Yeah, maybe then have an eye on the Ironman World Championship in Kona, which of course, like, I think it's 80% that I'm racing it in the next 5 years. But if we are now speaking like just the next 1 or 2 years, but yeah, if I race, I think really well in the T100. Might just be another year like this year, another T100, including maybe Challenge Roth mixed in.
So hypothetically then, if you win Challenge Roth this year, in 2026, are we seeing you all in for Ironman World Championships, long course, no more real middle distance, or just 1 or 2 here and there?
Yeah, I think most likely it's going into this direction, yeah.
As the sun sets on my time in the Sierra Nevada, I left with much clearer sense of who Fred Funk is. Focused, thoughtful, and quietly committed to what he's chasing. I followed Fred's career for a while, and now I feel genuinely invested in where it might go next. Maybe, after watching all this, you are too.